Live and local, Terry Allen's Guitar Bar in the studio with Jon Henry. It was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That's the movie that I was thinking of. And I didn't have to look that part of it up, but I did have to look up the song because I couldn't remember the song. Everything I do it for you. Do you remember that?
Okay.
Please tell me you remember the movie.
I remember that. Just barely, but...
You got Maid Marian, and Robin Hood, Kevin Costner.
I was confused for a minute because I was thinking about Carrie Elways and Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Oh, yeah. Not the same show.
How easily the two can be
Well, anyone that thinks The Postman was a good movie.
Yeah. That was told to you in confidence.
Oh, sorry. I busted you out, Jon Henry. Well, I have to. I'm a huge Kevin Costner fan. Kevin Costner now is doing music. In fact, he played in April at Ardmore at the Civic Center there in Ardmore. Yes, I'm not even kidding. He's coming back again to Ardmore.
I'm no longer surprised to hear that when famous actors are incredible musicians.
Yes,
like it's not uncommon to see Johnny Depp come out on stage with somebody.
Would not surprise me at all. Yeah, is that crazy? But yeah, Kevin Costner, a great musician, and I still think a wonderful actor. I mean, he's my favorite. If you read my bio anywhere, it would say who my favorite actor is. It's Kevin Costner.
Really?
Yes. Even before he got, I liked him. I've always liked him. I just have always liked him. The baseball movies, he's 3 of them, I love them.
Field of Dreams?
Field of Dreams. That was a good one, yes. Okay. Bull Durham.
I don't know that.
And For the Love of the Game was the third one. So I'm serious. I can answer these trivia questions. I just could not think of Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. So, all right. So questions for you. Where do you want your career to go? Obviously, you're studying, you're improving yourself all the time. You're working really hard at your craft. So what do you see happening for you? We've just been off mic trying to talk John into, I almost said it. Did you notice? I almost said Jonathan, into trying out for The Voice because your voice is so unique. I think that it has something in there that people are they just gravitate toward it. Well,
for years I've just been doing covers in public and stuff and really building my skill. And it's a really strange dilemma being a musician and somebody who wants to create because your taste is always so much more profound than what you're actually capable of creating at first. So you have to work and work and work. So for a long time, whenever I've tried to write something, I've been disappointed with myself because there's a huge gap between my level of skill and my imagination.
Right.
Well, for a long time, I've been working, and I'm finally starting to fill that gap to close considerably, and I've started writing. Like I've actually started finishing songs. I have a library of unfinished songs at the house, and I've been digging them out and dusting them off, and finally being happy with what comes out. So I'm looking forward to surprising myself in the near future.
Would you consider yourself more a songwriter than a singer? I mean, what do you like to do? What's your passion for?
Well, I've always been a singer, and but being a singer and somebody who hears songs in their head, somebody who imagines songs and sounds, you have to learn to play an instrument. You see,
yeah.
Somebody isn't always going to be there for you to be like, oh, play this, so you can hear your imagination in the context of real sound.
Yeah.
And so I want to write songs. I want to be a writer. And I feel like I'm finally a real musician. I'm finally starting to feel like I'm not just pretending to play guitar.
Well, and it's amazing, too, because you are so young and you feel like you're so old. You've been doing this for a long time and you've been working at this for a long time. But still, in the scheme of things, you are such a young person. You still have so much time left to be able to do these things. I mean, I think that's awesome. It's amazing. If you ever need a cheerleader, you come here because we will cheer you on. Okay, I'm not even kidding. Of course, we mentioned a little bit earlier our friend Laura, who we absolutely love, Laura Hatch.
Yes.
She is an amazing person too. Someone who has helped promote music not only in our schools but in Lawton with the big talent show that we had at Laugh Out Loud for a couple of years. And she recognized your talent. She knows you very well and knows the kind of talent that you have.
We're lucky to have Laura around. She's great. Yeah.
Absolutely. She's one of my favorite people in the world. And we want to hear another song from you now. Do you want to play another one of your originals?
Yeah. I prepared 2 for today.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, I may have procrastinated it a bit, but I feel pretty confident that we're gonna jam this out here.
What's it called?
This song's called Fantasy.
All right.
And this song is very, very personal. I have struggled with addiction in the past, and I've had a very tumultuous personal life, and I've had a couple of families, things go wrong, then I end up alone again, and I struggle with a lot. And this song is sort of about my journey of developing the attitude that I need to still to persevere and to actually realize what I've been dreaming about, what I want for my life. And so because I finally started to get positive, finally started to get take care of business, get on my game, study what I need to study. And this song is kind of about that.
That is so awesome. It's live and local. Terry Allen's Guitar Bar. Jon Henry with Fantasy on KLAW 101.
Hey, love, I like what you say to me tonight. I will look away, chasing such a feeling in extraordinary ways. Something like heaven, something isn't right. And you will go and say, before I could imagine such a place. And that's how I get lost in these fantasies. Brother, pray for me. Say what you will say it when I wanna get lost, but better go home. When I go slipping onto my knees, losing everything, if only to find some meaning. Think I may rest for a while. Been running this twisted mile. A child, I put away childish things. When I was a man, I had even wilder dreams. Burning straight down to the bottom of the bottle. Used to take one and then two, now a lot of bursting at your seams. Lord, you can't forget I love to take it to extremes. And as afraid as I am, I never look back that way again. And with fate in my hands, I wanna be someone. How I get lost in these fantasies. Brother, pray for me. Say what you really mean. When I wanna get lost, but I better go home. And when I go slipping onto my knees, losing everything, if only to find some meaning. I may rest for a while, rot in this twisted mind.
It's Fantasy with Jon Henry, Oklahoma's best country, KLAW 101 live and local. Terry Allen's Guitar Bar on KLAW 101.
Well, I shuffled through the city on the 4th of July. Had a firecracker waiting to blow. Breaking like a rocket was making its way to the cities of Mexico. Lived in an apartment on an avenue way, had a tart on the corner too. Had myself a lover that was finer than gold, but I've been broken up and busted up since. And love don't play any games with you anymore like she did before. The world won't wait, so I better shake this thing right out there through the door. But I still love you, New York. I still love you, New York. And I find myself a picture that will fit in the folds of my wallet, and it stayed pretty good. Still amazed I didn't lose it on the roof of the place when I was drunk and I was thinking of you. Every day the children, they were singing the tunes out on the streets, and you could hear from the side. Used to take the subway up to Houston and Thurman, I would wait for you and not try to hide. Love won't play any games with me anymore if you don't want it to. The world won't wait, so I watched you shake. But honey, I don't blame you, and I still love you, New York. New York. Oh, and I remember Christmas in the blistering cold in the church in the Upper West Side. Babe, I stood there singing, I was holding your arm, and you were holding my trust like a child. Found a lot of trouble out on Avenue B, but I tried to keep the overhead low. Farewell to the city and the love of my life, at least it left before we had to go. And love won't play any games with you anymore if you don't want them to. So we better shake this old thing out the door. I'll always be thinking of you, New York. I still love you, New York. Oh, I still love you, New York. Still love you, New York.
Live and local, Terry Allen's Guitar Bar. Jerry Anderson in the studio with Jon Henry. John, oh, yeah, better drag that over there to you.
I was doing so well, too, with the microphone.
John, thank you so much for coming to the studio. I'm so glad to get reacquainted with you and your music again. I mean, because it's been a couple of years since the talent show out at Laugh Out Loud.
Yeah, feels like a couple of years.
It does, doesn't it? It feels like more than a couple of years.
Been a couple, feels more like 3. So.
Well, I really appreciate you coming into the studio, and of course, looking forward to seeing you again at Terry Allen's Guitar Bar. Thanks so much. I got to thank, of course, Terry for hooking us up here with the show, live and local, Terry Allen's Guitar Bar, each and every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Coming up Friday at Guitar Bar, you're going to hear from Ronnie Garcia. That's somebody else that hasn't been at Guitar Bar before. So new acts all the time at Guitar Bar. Looking forward to a great lineup of new acts. John, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
It wasn't nearly as bad as you thought it was going to be, was it?
No, but I am sweating bullets over here.
And you have to go to work now.
Oh, no, I'm actually off. I'm going into work just to say hi to everyone.
Oh,
it's hard
perfect.
to stay away.
All right. Because you love it so much.
I certainly do. I love it.
All right, John, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Live and local, Terry Allen's Guitar Bar on K-Law 101.